And come in. Make sure you tap in the screen. Peace, 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 my loves. And we are live. Welcome to All Things Self Mastery platform, show, podcast, which we are now streaming on your favorite listening podcast, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I am your host and educator, Venus Agatis. I am a self mastery mentor. I teach you how to mentally, spiritually, emotionally, definitely energetically, and sometimes financially learn how to master yourself, master your reality. So any teaching that I give is going to be under the umbrella, whether we're talking about building and forging healthy relationships, so whether we're talking about this evening sacred sex exchange, which I'm excited, whether it's talking about understanding the core and catalyst of emotions, which I also have that podcast up as well. It is streaming, so if you missed that, you might want to go check that out. As you come in, make sure if you are on the YouTube, if you are on if you are in the house, make sure you say hello. I won't bite. Give me a hey, love, hey, give me a peace, give me a whatever that's pleasant to you. Just let me know that you are here. And as always, whether you are here with my TikTok family, YouTube family, Facebook family, say hello and definitely hit that subscribe or follow button so you can make sure that you're notified whenever I go live and I give information, which is incredibly needed these days, because I do think that a lot of us are consuming information, misguided information, particularly misguided information. And I am always going to do my due diligence and come before you and give it to you the way it is, based upon my 15 plus years of studying self-mastery and all things that is connected to. Hi, love. What's good, Battle? Sway. What's up, Sway? How you doing, love? How's your family? This is actually my battle. We served in the military together, spent some time in Afghanistan together. How are you, love? I'm so happy to see your presence. For those of you, I am Culture. How are you, my love? Peace. As y'all come in, make sure y'all keep tapping the screen. Let's get the likes up to 10,000, which is going to let the algorithm know here on TikTok that this is a live, this is a positive live stream. So that is the only thing that I request. That is the only thing, the main thing that I ask, but beside your participation. If you just help me tap the screen, let's run up the likes. Mwah, I am Culture. Thank you so much, my love, that you run up the likes. I'm not asking for your money. I am here to serve you. I am here to answer your questions. I am here to help you evolve. And the reason that you're here is because we are in alignment. So whatever I am going to say, it is going to be directly for each and every one of you that is here. For those of you who pop in, it is for you. Whatever you hear at the moment, it is for you, because there is no such thing as luck, coincidence, or happenstance. And why not get into sacred sex energy? I'm going to do the best I can to I can't stand walking on eggshells, but I'm going to do it, okay? Because I know how sensitive these platforms are. In a world where there is, not in the world, well, in the world, in a world where we have so many of us, right, operating with such low frequencies, such low vibrations. Understand what I'm saying? In a society where we have so many men and women that is pushing this hookup culture, that is not really understanding the effects and the consequences of our decisions. Let's continue to tap. Let's get to 10,000 before I get into the information. After we get to 10,000, I am going to bring up the slides. So for those of you who is in YouTube world, you'll be able to see the slides once we get them likes and them hearts running up. Okay. Where there is hookup culture being promoted and pushed, where there's so many of us who are in deep states of depression and loneliness and feeling overwhelmed and caught up in the rapture of, with all due respect, stupidity and folly. who is experiencing consequences in which they did not have a full understanding of the impact of those consequences. And now, far too many of us is on that bridge ready to jump off, metaphorically and literally. Some of us have actually jumped off. To mind realize that many of us, love, hi, Toast, how are you? Oh, goodness, my lifelong friend. How are you, love? Many of us, what I have learned over 15 years of studying psychology, studying metaphysics, studying many different sciences, studying energy, studying spirituality, studying sociology and biology and behavior analytics, studying all these things without getting too deep into it, I know that a lot of us are prematurely transitioning, which some of you call uh, sending off, transitioning to the next realm, right? I call it transitioning. When the spirit and the soul chooses to leave this physical realm and this body. I have come to know that there are souls that will choose to prematurely exit the avatar, right? There's a multitude of reasons as to why, right? And the discussion and the lesson we're going to be getting into this evening, we're going to be talking about sacred sex exchange. Why? Because many of us do not really understand what we need to, as far as as it is correlating to what we attract and who we attract. So remember, for those of you who do remember, and for those of you who knew, and those of you who know, right? We are what we consume. And a lot of what we're attracting, who we're attracting, has a lot to do with our past sexual partners, as well as our present sexual partners, and the future sexual partners that you decide to engage with. This is going to be a hot discussion. A hot. Hey, locked and lovely. How are you, beautiful? How are you, love? This is going to be incredibly informative. This is also a masterclass that I actually charge for, and I'm going to do the best I can to stay within the time frame. There's a lot of information, but it is necessary to give you, and I am going to do my best to give it as much as I can to you because it is important, right? Because I don't, how many of you put in the chat if you want more of something, no matter what it is? If you want more peace, put a one in the chat. If you want more healthy love, put it in the chat. If you want more security within self, within your environment, put a one in the chat. If you want to start forging healthier platonic and romantic relationships, put a one in the chat. If you want more opportunities, more beneficial opportunities, put a one in the chat. I see your one, Jerome. Thank you so much for participating, right? Because this is not a dictatorship. I don't come here just to hear my mouth. I don't come here to hear myself. I understand and know the information, and I practice it. Majestic, thank you so much for the response. I see it, right? I haven't come here just to hear myself speak. I come before you because I was once in many of y'all's shoes. I was once that girl. I was once Alyssa. I thank you so much. I see it, right? I was once her. No matter what it is you want, and no matter who it is that you want, first know that you can have it all. When I say it all, you can have it all. Yes, are there requirements? Absolutely. However, when it comes to you asking yourself some serious questions as to why do I keep attracting the same men and women in my life, no matter what status, no matter what sort of relationship, no matter if it's platonic, because you could keep attracting the same friends, that you allow in your life. You could keep attracting the same unhealthy or healthy friends in your life. You can continually attract the same unhealthy men and women in your life. You can keep attracting the same unhealthy opportunities and situations in your life. Financial situations. How many of us year after year, right, rely on our income taxes? And this is no shade. Come on, let's run these likes up. After we get to 10K, I'm going to bring up the presentation so we can actually get into it. This is just a what they call it, the appetizer. This is just the appetizer because the information that I have for you is going to be good. Culture, I see your hand raised. That was me. And it's still me. There's still things that I desire. The great thing about it now is that I understand what self mastery is. The great thing about it is that I remembered who I am. The great thing about it is that I know not only know what I practice what I know. I vibrate on it. So I say it all the time. It is the difference between you thinking, speaking, and being and knowing something. Three entirely different things. And so, yes, there are prerequisites to what I'm telling you, but if you have the new information that you need, you can start incorporating that. Because if you do not have the proper tools in your tool bag, it doesn't matter what home you're trying to build, metaphorically. It don't matter what you're trying to build. It don't matter who you're trying to attract. It don't matter what you're trying to attract. It's not going to come to you unless you have these fundamental principles that I come before you and I teach you, right? Because I want you to have it. Because it's just not about me. Everything that we do has an impact on the earth. Everything we do, every minute thing to the grandest of things. I see you all sharing the live. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Right? It's not just about me. It's not just about you. It literally is about us when you understand these principles, because everything I do echoes a vibration. Everything you do. Echo, I'm not talking to you. Echo, hush. I need to change her name back to Alexa because she in my business right now. Peace, peace. Hello, New York. How are you, love? Hi. I'm originally from New York. Welcome in, Christopher. Everything you do through the universe. It, oh my goodness. Echo, stop. See, and that's another thing, but I ain't gonna get into it here, right? Because I don't. I won't get into it here, but that's another thing. These electronics, right? The cyber electronic attacks. That's another live, not on air, right? First time here, Alyssa. Well, welcome in. I'm Venus the Goddess. I am your sister, your auntie, your mom in some cases, your beloved friend. More than that, I'm your self mastery mentor, your favorite. Vibration art. Yes, everything we do permeates through the realm. Everything. Come on, y'all. Let's keep up. I know y'all resilient. Let's keep up with the taps. Let's get to 10,000 taps so I can bring up this presentation so we can get it in. Come on, lovely fingers. I appreciate those of you who are tapping. I really do. I know with the amount of us who are in here, we can absolutely do it. Let's get the taps to 10,000, my loves. That's the only thing I require, because with all due respect, right? And groundedness, there are people teaching you what I'm about to teach you and what I always come to teach you for free. I say that in the most sincerest way. I do it for free and a lot throughout the month. But there are literally people out there charging you hundreds to thousands of dollars for the same information, the same, what some of us call sacred information and sacred wisdom. You understand what I'm saying? I hope y'all understand what I'm saying, right? So I'm not going to go deep into that. However, that is also important for me to say. So the most I ask is that you just tap, okay? So we can share out the information, because everything we do affects us. Everything, every small decision. And I know sometimes with our day-to-days, we don't think so. because many of us are so caught up in the rapture of this matrix. Many of us are just going, and we're on this repetitive hamster wheel, this repetitive cycle. And for far too many of us, it is an unhealthy cycle. It is unnatural to you, to your essence, to who you are, to who you divinely are, to who you are on a triune level. We are part mental, part soul, spirit, and part physical. So I understand that with all the abundance and the overwhelmness of information that's out there, baby, let me tell you something. It is truly up to you to do something about it. It's truly up to you to understand these things. Because guess what? No one is excluded from universal principles and laws. No one. I did a master class on understanding universal principles and laws. Right now in my book club, we're going over Hermetic principles, which simply means metaphysical principles, sacred principles and laws. Nobody is excluded from the effects. No one. It doesn't matter your status. It doesn't matter your gender. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your acronyms. It doesn't matter your education. It doesn't matter your qualifications. It doesn't matter the dollar sign, the amount of zeros you have in your bank, whether it's in a positive or a negative. It does not matter your spirituality per se. It does not matter the clothes you wear. It does not matter. None of that matters when we're talking about you're not excluded from undergoing, enduring, and being affected by universal principles and laws. And one of those favorite laws that I love to teach on is the law of cause and effect. Everything you do, I am not inviting guests right now, with all due respect. I'm teaching. Okay, my loves, for those of you who just requested up, right? No one is excluded. What you give is what you get. When you understand the transmutation of energy, which we're going to be discussing, SEX transmutation, right? There's always a transfer of energies every minute second, even though time is an illusion. There's always a transfer of energies. What you get, you receive. There's always a give and receive. For some people, there's a give and a take. What you do not know is it's not all about taking. It's what you give, you receive. So if you're ever questioning why you keep receiving certain things, it's because that's what you are giving, knowingly or unknowingly, right? And so at some point in our lives, we have to begin to ask the question, well, damn, how bad do I want what I want? How bad do I want to elevate? How bad do I want peace? How many times am I going to keep running on the hamster wheel when I can simply just jump off of it anytime I want to? How long am I going to keep blaming and being the victim while simultaneously saying I'm the victor? How long, Peace Marvin, how are you, my love? How long are we going to keep on blaming society? How long are we going to keep on blaming each other? How long are we going to keep on blaming? Come on now, we almost there. 7 K. I know y'all fingers getting into it, but come on, let's get into it. Let's tap. Let's get to 10K so I can bring up this live, so we can bring up the slide so I can really get into this information. I'm an educator. I love educating. I love sharing. I love imparting. I love inspiring. But most of all, I love seeing and hearing your transformations. I love that because I'm just not here to talk to you. I'm just not here to stroke your ego, even though it's going to get stroked, because you deserve praise. You deserve to be rewarded for the things that you do, for the steps that you take. You deserve to be honored. You deserve to be respected. You deserve to be treated with the divine love. You deserve to hit the reset button whenever you need to. However, with all that we deserve, there is much that is also required. What are you doing, my loves? That's a little bit rhetorical, because I can see what a lot of us are doing. I can sense what a lot of us are doing, right? And that's why individuals like me, we're going to keep showing up. We almost there. We passed 8,000K. We almost there, love. Let's get it up. Let's get it up. I done pulled up. We getting into it. Okay, for those of you who want to see the presentation, you're more than welcome to hop on over to YouTube, All Things Self Mastery. Okay, and if you want easier access, just click my picture, and there's a tab under social media icons that's going to lead you right over there. But if you choose to just stay here because you're going to get the information the same way, baby. I truly do. Thank you so much for sharing it live. I am Culture. I appreciate you, my love. Share the live. Let's continually tap the screen. Hey, we almost there. 1K away. We almost there. We almost there. I appreciate y'all. I know sometimes, listen, I would never ask for you what I don't do for myself. Okay. I let my magic fingers flow when I'm in a positive vibe because I too love and pay attention and am very intentional about the information that I consume. So welcome in. Once again, we're about to get started because I see we are almost at 10K. Yes, yes, yes. That's what we need to get started. Hi, Christelle. How are you, my love? Sacred, sacred, sacred SEX exchange. Right? How many of us, far too many of us, have been programmed and conditioned to treat sex, engage in sex. Let me slow down with that word. SEX. Animalistically. We are not animals. You are not an animal. Does it feel good? Baby, listen. Absolutely. Absolutely. But let me tell you something. There are not only infinite pleasures, right, with engaging in sensual and sexual activity. However, what we do not remember is that it was once sacred. It was beyond engaging because we had 10K. Let's get it. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all. SEX was sacred. We wasn't acting like animals. We wasn't acting, our ancestors wasn't practicing SEX just for the fun of it. Even though it was fun. Mwah, thank you so much, Culture. It was sacred. Right? They understood the magic and the power with SEX transmutation, the transfer of SEX energy, sexual energy. They knew that that it was one of the practices that can move them from this physical realm into the spiritual realm in order to manifest whatever they wanted, whatever they desired here in this physical realm. Give me 1 second. They knew it was sacred. So they didn't just practice, they wasn't just acting like animals. They wasn't just acting like animals. It wasn't just about wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It wasn't just about pleasure, which is why many of us who engage in sexual acts, 90% of the time, you feel empty. How many of us gonna be transparently honest about that? You could have had mind-blowing SEX. You could have had the experience of your life. It could have been that great. But how many of us going to be transparently honest when it comes to knowing and feeling like there's still something missing? There's still a void. I may be physically pleased, which a lot of y'all ain't. Let's just keep it infinite. Genesis, how are you, my love? Yes, just something to do. I used to experience that. I've had amazing sexual encounters. However, I had to realize that it was still a deep void and an emptiness. Like what's missing? Something is missing. It gotta be deeper than this. Not only it gotta be deeper than this, I also in my journey of figuring out why I kept attracting the same type of dudes in my life, the same type of men, which most of them were dysfunctional. I had to understand on the deeper level why I kept finding myself playing ping pong with money. I get it, I lose it. I get it, I lose it. I'm waiting from income tax. And then 3 months later, I'm broke again. I had to realize why none of my relationships were healthy, right? Platonic and romantic. I had to end it like there was something that was going on. I had to understand why I was so addicted to sex. Yes, Genesis, we talking about sacred sex exchange. No spiritual and soulful reciprocation. None. Lovely. None. I had to realize why I still felt so broke and broken. Why I kept allowing what I kept allowing. There are many things that led me on this self-mastery path, right? But we're talking about, pardon me, we're talking about sacred sex exchange. So when it comes to this topic, continue to tap the screen, my loves, and share the live. When it comes to this, I had to understand that whoever desire romance, this is what this knowledge and information is for. Whoever desire to have healthier partnerships, this is what this information is for. Whoever desire intimacy, marriage, no matter what institution you want it to fall under. If you desire that, this information is important to you. If you want to know why you keep attracting the same type of men, why you keep having the same type of most times meaningless conversations, why you keep running back to certain things, especially the unhealthy things. If you want a deeper understanding as to the why you keep repeating these behaviors, if you need to understand why you keep attracting the what and the who, and you need to really know the core why, this masterclass is for you. This information is going to be incredibly important for you to know. And I guarantee you, if you start to understand it and start to apply it, it will change your life. I am going to do the best I can to get through this masterclass to give you what you need to understand your what and your why, which is one of my most profound lessons I teach in Rise of a Goddess Academy. Reassessing where you are, it's important. You cannot create a blueprint to where you're going if you do not understand where you're starting from. And it's okay to hit the reset button. You deserve it. Don't feel ashamed about hitting the reset button. Don't feel unloved if you need to hit the reset button. Don't feel guilty if you have to hit the reset button. Do not feel guilt tripped, right? You need to understand, because many of y'all, let me tell you something, and I'm going to get into this further in the presentation. Many of y'all think just because you're separated from your exes, that's it. Many of y'all just think, many of us, far too many of us think just because we break up with a person, we're no longer with that person. You are absolutely incorrect, my love. Many of us, and this is why I'm giving this class this evening, many of us are still under the spells and are connected to past lovers, sexual partners, even if you use the condom. And especially if you didn't. Now, I'm not trying to get deep into your business, okay? But I'm getting deep into your business, right? Understand, which we're going to get into, spiritual cords and what most of you call spiritual soul ties. You don't just cut a soul cord. You don't just cut a sexual cord or a sexual tie simply by saying, I no longer want to be with you. You go your way and I go my way. What you do not understand is that if you have not ritualistically cut that sexual cord and tie, understand that it is still affecting you in this very moment. One of the main reasons why many of us are attracting what are One of the main reasons, pardon me, why many are not attracting what and who we desire is because of these unhealthy cords that are still connected to you. They're still connected to you, baby. This is when you start having these cognitive dissonance moments. This is where you start being like, well, why do I feel like this? Why am I remembering him? Why am I remembering her to the capacity that I'm remembering them? Why am I still getting these butterflies? Why all of a sudden I had this moment like I still feel like he's in me or I'm in her, and you're nowhere near each other. As a matter of fact, y'all spent years apart. There's a reason for that. That's affecting your aura. That's affecting your karma. That's affecting your frequency. It's affecting your relationship with yourself as well as the relationship with other people. And it's affecting you in other areas. It just don't stay in one compartment of your life. When things are overflowing and overpowering, guess what? It's going to trickle into other areas. What happens if you let the garbage pile up in your kitchen? Do you not think it's not going to overflow? Do you not think you're not going to start smelling the stench all the way in the back room? Use that. So the best thing you can do is understand what's affecting you by investing in someone that can help you understand these things for yourself, for your life. Isn't that what self-love is all about? Don't we say, yeah, I love myself, I love myself, I love my loved ones. Matter of fact, I'll DIE for mines, right? I'll give a lung for mines, I'll give a leg for mines, I'll give a kidney for mines. How about you just give life for yours? How about you educate yourself for you and yours? How about you learn what you need to for you and yours? It doesn't have to resort to our DIE for mine. How about you LIVE for yours? And I'm not talking about just living, right? When he blatantly stated, we have a soul tie, I knew he had put something on me. Yes. Right? So we have to understand this. Let's keep tapping the screens, my love. We on that 16K. Come on. I know I said something that helped you out. I don't see no red hearts. Understanding this for you. What is it? What is it that you want for yourself? So when I talk about hitting the reset button, reassess. And this is something that I teach my mentees. As a mentor, as self-mastery mentor, this is what I teach. What do you want? What do you want? Where are you? What do you desire? Right? What do you desire? You have to start there, right? Because of the lack of state of being without or not having enough of something. Why do you desire what you desire? Why do you desire peace? Why do you desire to forge? And I'm not saying there's anything unhealthy with this. Why do you desire a healthy relationship? Why do you desire a romantic relationship? Why do you desire more money, more wealth? Why do you desire more intelligence? Why do you desire to be wiser? Why do you desire these things? Understanding your core why is really going to help you navigate, right? Because for many of us, our why, our unknowingly why, is because one of the reasons is because of that soul tie, that sexual connection. One of the other main reasons is that addiction, right? Because of the unknown addictions. And I know where this is where perception, you understand in perception, which I also have a master class on that. You have to learn how to expand your perception because how you perceive something is how you going to reflect something. And what you reflect is based upon what you associate that thing with. So, because many of us have been programmed and conditioned to think of addictions as it relates to a narcotic, okay, that's a fool's information. Many of us are addicted to many things, and many of those things are affecting us to this day. Many of y'all are still addicted to the energetic sexual cord, right? Not only that, y'all addicted to the physical pleasures of it, right? Having a strong physical or psychological need or a urge to do or want something. This is why y'all keep banging. This is why we're still engaging in animalistic sex, because we so used to do it. Let's bang it out. Let's bang it out. Let's bang it out. Right? I mean, I'm not the only one who understands that the statistics of the hookup culture is not being polarized. We're not going to act like women, and I say this with all due respect, we're not going to act like there aren't uneducated, misguided women using this powerful concept and term, which is healthy. This thing called autonomy. We're not going to act like there aren't misguided, disingenuous, ignorant women using autonomy as an excuse, okay, to just engage in sexual pleasures, calling it my body, my choice. Now, don't get it twisted. If that's your gig, if that's your gag, if that's your get up, if that's what's floating your boat, baby, float with it. But for those divine goddesses who want to understand that every action that you do has a reaction, has a consequence. And this is why you see many of us right now hurt, broken. Why he doing this to me? Why he doing it to me? Why I keep going after him and chasing? We literally have women chasing penis. We literally have women chasing money. We literally have men chasing Yanni. We literally have men chasing money. With all the chasing, this topic, I'm going to do the best I can to stick to just with sex, because this is the master class. We literally have us. We chasing, we hunger, we're so addicted. We're not understanding that every action we take, every decision we make to sexually engage, to sexually transfer our energy, to give and receive of this energy, to partake in this energy, we're making an energetic choice, right? And then we don't like the effects of it. And then you wonder why your life is just in havoc. We wondering why some of us, quote unquote, just skating backwards, not walking, skating, rolling fast. We're wondering why, why we're so affected, right? Because of all of these things, right? Loneliness. We're not willing to sit with ourselves. We're not really willing to do the work. We got a lot of men and women talking about I'm healing. Let's not forget the fact that energetic frequency is also a language. So let's not forget what I told y'all last week. Language semantics. Let's not understand that every time you imply you healing, you're sending a message to the universe that you sick. So guess what you gonna get? Guess what God gonna keep giving you? Guess what the universe is gonna keep giving you? Right? Situations and people and men and women who's gonna keep you sick. Y'all have to understand this. Y'all have to. If you wanting to grow, if you're wanting to really change the dynamics of your life and the lives of your loved ones, when we talk about legacy, we got to get off this. It's so much more than leaving generational wealth. That's not no fucking legacy. That's not all what it's about. Because what are we seeing more of? The repeating of unhealthy relationships, generation after generation after generation after generation. You chasing a bag and fumbling your ascension. You chasing a bag and fumbling your ascension. You chasing a bag and fumbling your spiritual growth. You're chasing the bag, or you're chasing sex, and you're fumbling everything else because it's all about money. I gotta leave a legacy. You're fumbling all of these other things, the most important things. Do you honestly think, not even you, do you honestly think that your children, your loved ones, do you honestly think money is more important to them? Especially with what's going on right now and what's coming. If y'all think, and I know y'all can feel it, if you are an infinite being, and let me tell you something, I'm gonna let the spirit flow where it flow. I'm gonna get through whatever I can with this lesson, right? So pardon that. If you are an infinite being, you feel and sense that there's something coming. Nothing happens internally without it first happening externally. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nothing happens externally without it first happening internally. As above, so below, and everything in between. Everything. Okay, so we're talking about this great year of Aquarius, Aquarian age, the age of information, the age of enlightenment, the age of abundance of all things beautiful, baby. This is also the year of great exposure. Great exposure. So I encourage you, take heed to the information. It's not coming to you for no reason. I'm not here for no reason. You're not here for no reason. Your higher self is trying to remind you, warn you. The universe is trying to aid you, right? Your ancestors is attempting to aid you. They're constantly showing us signs, okay? Constantly showing us signs. They're constantly giving us evidence. We're constantly seeing people, places, and things just fall by the wayside, just crumbling down. We're constantly seeing that. And you think you can just keep having sex? You think you can just keep doing these things and there are no consequences to you? Think you're not going to pay what you weigh? Okay? That's crazy. You have to reassess where you are. If you don't know where you are, how will you understand where you're going? How are you creating a blueprint without the skills necessary to do so mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, energetically? Have you taken the time to transparently answer these questions for yourself and for the person you choose to exchange your sexual energy with? Every decision you make matters. Do you not think you're going to have consequences for every time you engage? And some of us think just because we're in marriages, we're not still affected by our sexual cords and ties. Farthest from the truth. I'm telling you, farthest from the truth. That's a fact. Majestic, how are you, my love? Senses have been hidden. Kiera, thank you so much, my love. Right? The fundamentals of your sexual desires, what are they? Where is do any, I know many of y'all have heard of energy centers and chakras, right? Your chakras are also known as your energy centers, right? That are distributed throughout your body. Most of us only know about 7. Your root chakra, right, which is where your sensual and sexual desires are, which is where your groundness is. Your sacred chakra, your solar plexus, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, your crown chakra, but there's also your cow, also your aura, also your energy field, your auric field. Knowing and understanding the fundamental, I tell you what, I don't know everything about everything, but I know a little bit about a lot of things, and that's what I teach you. Your chakras play a huge part when in correlation with your sensual and sexual desires. Because if you many of us who are undisciplined with our physical sexual desires have an over or underactive root chakra, which means it's blocked or overactive. It's just running and running and running and running and running, which is also affecting you in many other areas. Each chakra allows the energy to, each chakra should be flowing naturally through your body. This is where a lot of physical ailments or diseases come from, right? This is one of the core reasons why many of us are overindulgent. Even if you have a partner, that's no excuse for not understanding your core frequency and your essence when it comes to sex. There's no reasons. Whether you're married in a long-term relationship or not, it does not matter. Are you asking yourself the truest and most transparent questions? Have you established self-awareness? What is your perception of self-awareness? What is your perception of self-full love? Let's tap. I see we only at 19. We should be way above right now. We're 45 minutes in, right? What is your perception and your understanding of self-concept? Pardon me. Drink some crystal water. It's one of my favorite stones, amethyst. Right? What is your have you established a deeper understanding of boundaries? Right? Remember, resetting boundaries. Do you have them? Are you standing on them? Do you even understand what your core values is? Do you have negotiables and non-negotiables, standards? What is your code of ethics? Right? Sexual transmutation, the transmutation of sexual energy is paramount in understanding, right? It's so important for you to know or understand the consequences of just hooking up, catfishing, stalking, right? Hookup culture, catfishing, stalking, STDs, and even sexual assault, putting yourself in dangerous situations. These are all risks that we're taking, all risks. And soon as those risks come up, then we like, damn, one small decision can be equivalent to a lifeline, a life term of effects. Yes. Jungle Love, I see you. I appreciate your participation, right? Ignorance leads to a lack of growth in any relationship. When one partner chooses to stay ignorant and wants to ignore his or her own partner's thoughts, feelings, at some point, they may not know how to support or encourage the other person to elevate. There are many dangers in ignoring, ignorantly exchanging your sexual energy. Understand when I understand what I say when I understand what I'm about to say. In STD, if you understood the things that I'm teaching you, which I encourage you to, and STD is the last and least of your worries. If you knew what you were exchanging when you engage sexually with men or women, men and women, whomever you decide to engage with, the reason does not matter. I'm not saying to ignore that you can also catch STDs. However, if you understood on a spiritual level what you're sacrificing, FTD is at the bottom of that list. It's at the bottom of that list. And the more you ignorantly, unknowingly feed these energies, the more powerful they get, which means the more they're going to affect you. Understand the consequences of your unwise decision is impacting you and those whom you love. And they're also impacting others in the realm on this planet because we are connected in many ways, just like the roots of a tree. It don't matter what you know to be true. This is an indisputable, infinite fact. We are a part of an infinite oneness, the creator of all. It just is. Whether you call that God, Yeshua, Yahweh, Jesus, no matter what, Allah, no matter who or what, we are part of an infinite oneness, the creator of all infinite beings and things. If it is energetic, which everything, even this pen holds energy. This little eyeglass holds energy. Everything holds energy. This everything holds energy and everything is vibrated and you are connected to it. Everything matters. This is why paying attention to your core frequency, your energy, it matters who you exchange it with. Via conversation, definitely via sex. Definitely. Because that's going to affect you in many ways. A baby is not the portal ushering in, okay? Making a gateway, a portal for another being to come into this realm is just one of the effects and purposes of sexual transmutation. Just one. It's getting hot. Where my spongy at? That's just one. It's not the it all be all. You have to understand you and you have to relearn and re-educate yourself. Eurocentric minded people, these Eurocentral philosophies, Eurocentric, pardon me, philosophies that have taught you how to engage with something so sacred and has replaced it with animalistic ways is hurting you and destroying you. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's hurting many of you. I did have a video to show, but I'm not going to do that. Right? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just tell you, keep, because we almost approaching the time. So what is it? That's what's exchanged? What tops? What's more consequential than an STD that can come from a sexual exchange? What's more consequential, Venus? What's worse? What's worse than contracting an STD or disease or some type of physical discomfort or a discomfort or ailment? Okay, so let me tell you. You listening? Let me tell you. When you engage sensually, sexually, right, with a partner, when you have sex, you are transferring and taking on all of their energetic frequency. You are taking on, you are being downloaded with their DNA. What is DNA? Information. What is DNA? Experiences, emotions, energy and motion. And when you do not truly know the person, you don't understand their energetic frequency, you don't know their ancestral karmatic ties that they have connected to them, you don't know. So that means every person that you sexually connected yourself with, that you have not spiritually cut that tie, you still have them in you. Not only them, not only their DNA, not only their emotions, right? Pardon me, had to do something. Come on, let's tap the screen because TikTok is saying I'm not active. Let's tap the screen, right? You're taking on their emotions, their energy and motion. You're taking on all of their psychological frequency. And just let's keep it infinite. Many of us are psychologically distorted, confused. So not only do you transfer and take on their DNA, their emotional trauma, right? Their baggage. You'll also be it imparted with every person they engaged with sexually. Not only that, you also have unknowingly taken on the responsibility of their ancestral karma. Understand also that all of these things can be reversed. So let me also say that. But many of you don't know the first thing about what's going on when you are exchanging sexual energy with someone. And then you wonder why your life is in turmoil. You wonder why you keep attracting the same men and women in your life, unhealthy. You wondering why you're having money problems. You're wondering why you're having relationship problems. You're wondering why you're having opportunity problems and issues. You're wondering why is issue after issue after issue after issue after issue after issue, week after week, month after month, year after year. And then it becomes this cycle, this perpetual cycle of dysfunction. And guess what? I teach y'all in self-mastery. As living beings, infinite beings, as living organisms, which you are an organism. If you are not expanding, right? If you're not evolving, you're devolving, right? If you're not ascending, you're descending. How does that look? It looks like self-destruction, self-destructing, because your infinite soul, your spirit, even your avatar was never purposed to undergo such de-elevation, such pressure. You wasn't purposed or created to continually descend, but ascend, to gather information, collect it so you can give it back to yourself, back to the universe, back to nature, to grow. When you stop, what you feed will gain power and what you starve will lose its power. What do you think is going to happen when you continually feed or not feed something, someone, including energy? When you feed whatever, you're feeding an energy. If you stop feeding a plant, it's going to lose its energy and its vitality and go back and return or be transferred. Energy is neither created nor transferred. Many of us have heard this. It's transferred from one to the next. So yeah, the plant don't die because living organisms are infinite. We are infinite. We don't die, baby. We LIVE on, we multiply like gremlins, but you have to understand the nature and universal principles and laws. You have to understand that even though we're infinite, even though this avatar, it has an expiration date. No one in their right mind that I know of will want to keep repeating the same grade over and over. You know how goofy you gonna look. Not that you should be worried about it, but let's keep it 100. We do worry about what certain people think, and that's okay. We're in society. We are also still what they call the physical triune. Remember the triune, we are part physical, part spirit, soul, and part mental, right? So it's naturally okay, but you know how goofy you look? Every year your avatar expands. Every year your avatar circles the sun and you still in the damn fifth grade. Do you know how retarded? I, Let me take. I'll take that back. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I I, I don't. I'm gonna slow down. I don't take it back because it's already out there. Once it's out there, it's out there. Okay. But do you know how ridiculous? Do, do you know how ridiculous it is? Why would you want to keep repeating the same damn grade over and over and over and over again? Why would you want to do that? You can't tell me you done spent 5 years in the ninth grade and you love it there. Especially if you keep getting taller, you look crazy. You look crazy. I appreciate you, Jungle. I really do. We have to understand this. Okay, so we are at 1 hour and 1 minute. TikTok, give me 1 second. Let me close out the live streams. So again, I appreciate you all for being here. For those of you who have joined me late, you are here at All Things Self Mastery show and podcast. And this evening we was talking about sacred sex exchange, sacred sex exchange. For those of you who are new to me, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook land, in my Facebook family, make sure you hit that follow button, join the family, because if you're not mastering yourself, you're being mastered. And if you're not mastering your reality, someone is mastering it for you. And it's high in time we take accountability and responsibility. So I am your host and your favorite self-mastery mentor, Venus the Goddess. I will see you next Saturday for another masterclass lesson or a discussion about what's going on, okay, in the world. I'll see you soon.